Ramadan is almost over. It's almost here. So this will be, for me at least, the last hour of the Ramadan fasting challenge that I've been participating in on this channel. As many of you who follow me or subscribe know, that's what I've been doing here for the past the past month. But finally, the last hour is here, and I'll be sharing some of my thoughts, some of my experience, some of the roundup. I'll be giving some announcements, and then whatever time's left at the end, I might do a little reaction video. Who knows? We'll see. If you want to interact with this live stream, you have to be a subscriber. So go ahead and do that if you want to interact with the live stream. And I already see that someone has, woohoo, yes, it is a time to celebrate. If I don't respond to the live stream, live chats today as often, it's because I'm going to be trying to streamline some of my thoughts here and keep it going steady. But glad to have you all here. Thankful for this last hour here. Actually, what time is sunset today? Let's see. I'm curious. Sunset today is at 7:49 p.m. on my end. And yeah, as I said, I know not everyone, this is not necessarily the last hour for everyone, but for me, it is. And I'm joining you guys here today. So I guess I'll just jump right into it and get started with some of my concluding thoughts about the challenge that I participated in. Of course, as most people know about Ramadan, is the idea that you fast during the day, and then between the breaking of light in the morning and the sunset, you don't eat. But then at nighttime, basically nighttime, you do eat. That is the general concept. And I participated in this fast, and I did it for the past 30 days, moving into the last hour here. And, physically, I'm going to start off by saying this as a recap and a summary of what I experienced and stuff. Physically, I've lost over 10 pounds, I think. I went into this challenge weighing like 185 pounds. And now I weigh like 171 pounds or something. Like I lost a pretty considerable amount of weight, all things considered. And I'm not that big of a guy to start with, so I lost a lot of weight. But the one aspect of it that I was curious about when I started this challenge was whether or not I would, if my body would get used to it, if it would always be like, difficult, if I'd always be like hungry all the time. I wasn't sure how this is going to play out. So the first week was about as one would expect when you don't eat much during the day. I was pretty tired, drained of energy. I was hungry all the time, and I could definitely tell I wasn't eating. It was constantly on my mind, and I was like, oh boy, this is going to be difficult. but after the first first few days of the first week, I definitely did start regaining not regaining energy, but I definitely did get used to the experience. I was experiencing hunger. I was hungry during the day, but it's weird. Like your body gets used to it. You don't think about it as much. You're kind of like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And by like the second or third week, I wasn't even thinking about it. It wasn't nearly as pressing of a thought on my mind that I'm hungry. It was more like, oh, I'll just eat later during the day. Don't get me wrong, you do notice it, and that's part of the purpose of fasting is to notice that you're hungry and to pray and to be reminded of those things. But by the second or third week, I got used to that feeling. And it wasn't, the first week was definitely the hardest. The first week was the hardest for me as far as the challenge went. The last 3 weeks weren't as hard in regard to my hunger pains and stuff like that. So physically, that was how things played out in the challenge. Like this last week here was pretty well breezed. I did get sick actually. If anyone followed the shorts, I did get sick at one point. For one day, I must have ate something bad or been dehydrated or something. I'm not entirely sure what was wrong with me that day, but I was sick to the stomach. I wasn't really able to keep many fluids down and stuff, and so I did end up eating and drinking stuff that day because I just was like, I felt awful. But the next morning I felt a little groggy, but then by midday I felt okay, so I was fine. But besides that, physically I felt pretty good for most of the challenge. The only thing was, and I've said this before in some of my past videos, was the schedule was still weird. And it's still weird for me because I have a bad habit of staying up late. Like I work pretty late into the evenings, and I'll stay up late video editing and things like that. I kind of lose track of time. And then I'll be like, oh, I need to go to bed because I need to get up early tomorrow morning to eat breakfast or drink water or something. And I would get into this bad habit of staying up late and then being exhausted in the morning, getting up in the morning and kind of groggily going throughout my breakfast. And then there would be a lot of times where I was that tired I would just fall back asleep, or I would try to read a book, have devotions, pray, stuff like that. But it was kind of a toss up depending on how exhausted and how late I stayed up the night prior. Not to mention I was producing a lot of content over this time, so added to the workload. But that was the hardest. I think honestly the schedule part was harder than the hunger part, because as I mentioned, I haven't been nearly as active. I haven't been going to the gym nearly as much, and I feel like I'm rearing to go. My schedule is kind of again just kind of wonky for that reason. I was like I'm just so used to always moving around, so used to always having energy, but it definitely just impacted. And also my meals, like my friends would be like, let's go do something, and I'd be like, well, I mean, I kind of can't eat during that time, so won't be nearly as fun. um, or it would be like, actually, I need to eat at that time, so I can't really go out and do something where there's not food. So, so it definitely did change the dynamics. I didn't really think about the schedule side of things until the holidays or to the weekends or when I wanted to work out. But again, you get used to it. Comes with the territory. And I would say a lot of times the benefits do outweigh the negatives when it comes to fasting, at least, and just as a general principle. I certainly I certainly got some benefit out of this. So I've mentioned this before. I have fasted a little bit in the past, not nearly this much in this extent of time. So this was a little bit different. Was a little bit stretching for that regard. But fasting definitely comes with it definitely comes with things challenges. Being hungry, not having energy, schedule, stuff like that. But those challenges help remind you to continually pray. Like it's interesting when you're hungry, when you experience that hunger, you're like, I need to pray now. Or it reminds you of God's sovereignty. It reminds you that you don't live off bread alone. So I should pay homage to God right now. I should give Him honor and glory. And that's a natural thing about fasting. That's a big part of fasting in general. And so it was this constant reminder for me to pray, to thank God for the blessings, and to continually seek His wisdom and remind myself of where I stand before Him, all that good stuff. And that's stuff I've experienced in the past with fasting as well. And there's also this element of recognizing, again, that there's this verse in the Bible that says, man does not live off bread alone, but on every word of God. Meaning, like, you start to realize when you're fasting that food is not the only thing that you live off of. There's spiritual food that you need to partake in. There's spiritual food that you need to invest in. And that's actually more important than the physical food that we eat. And then there's also the aspect of looking forward to the meal at the end of the day, looking forward to that sustenance, looking forward to that provision that God will provide, which was just an interesting aspect of it as well, that you looked forward to that meal at the end of the day. And it was a time of rest, a time of jubilee, a time of joy, because you got to now eat and you could see the provision before you. Now, this is something that I definitely learned from my audience in the comment section. Because I got comments from Christians, Muslims, people from, again, this is a diverse channel. I have a lot of different viewers on this channel, and that's what I want. So I get a lot of input on these videos. But a lot of the Muslim comments that I saw, Muslim viewers that I have, they told me also a big part of this is to remind people of what it's like for the poor, what it's like to be hungry. And I didn't ever, like, when I fasted in the past, I never thought about that. It might have crossed my mind, like I don't know, it might have crossed my mind, but I never really thought about the fact that, like, when you fast, you are experiencing hunger, you're experiencing things that people who don't have the means, they they experience this on a regular basis. So like now, I understand there's different types of fast for different things, but like this idea of eating one meal a day, for me, it basically became one meal a day. I would eat small breakfasts. It was mainly just a meal at the evening. But when you eat one meal a day, a lot of families out there live off one meal a day. And I never considered myself wealthy. I never considered myself that affluent. I never, I, I don't make that much money. All right. But I definitely make a lot more than most people do in the world as a whole. I make enough to live on my own in my own house. I make enough to, pay my bills, get groceries. I never really had to suffer hunger and be worried about my next meal. I always knew I was going to be able to eat food the next day. So this I never really thought about it that way, but now in hindsight, like that makes sense. Now you can empathize better with those who are poor, those who are experiencing poverty and hunger, those who don't have, food right near them, oppressive governments, whatever it may be. You can have more of an empathy for someone like that because you experience that now. You can understand it better. And I don't think I would have thought about that unless I would have been told about that. And I think that's actually something very helpful when it comes to the empathy side of things. And again, I guess that goes hand in hand with the whole idea of charity during this time period and giving of alms and things like that. But I think those were some of the physical takeaways, some of the spiritual takeaways, and I've summarized some of this in the past. But those were some of my experiences with the whole Ramadan experience. For doing this the first time as like a Christian and all that stuff, it was just it was an eye-opening experience, and I definitely am glad I did it. One thing though I did during this challenge was near the end, I did partake in an iftar meal at a mosque, as many of you may know. The full video will be coming out on Saturday of next week. Ideally, I'm going to aim for Saturday of next week. And I'm going to be talking about that. Like, I'm going to be releasing that video in a week from now. But I'll give you a quick summary here. The iftar meal that I enjoyed over Ramadan at the mosque was an eye-opening experience as well. I got to experience what Muslims do when there's a call to prayer. Got to experience what it's like for them to pray. I got to witness it at least. And then the meal afterwards, okay, this was the funny thing. For the longest time, I didn't think I liked dates, but then I realized I never really had dates. So when they broke fast, they had 3 dates. By what I understand, this is custom for a lot of Muslims. And so I ate my first date ever, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good. To be fair, though, I almost bit into the seed because I just went straight in and bit it, and I didn't realize there was a seed in the middle of it. And then I was like, there's something hard here. I bit on the side, and I opened it up, and I was like, oh, there's a seed in there. I didn't realize that. But now I know. But dates were delicious, and I was like, man, I now am a fan of dates. This is a great thing. New experience. I love it. And we had Polynesian food, I think. It was delicious. All I know is chicken, rice, and I think maybe salad on the side or something. It was a delicious meal. I was greatly impressed, and I had good company. I was joined by a couple of people. The Farouz, who, if you watched the interview, he was there. It was actually the mosque he attended. And I was there with one of the servants of the mosque, Ahmed, and I was also with, there was an imam there. I forget what his name is now, that also I was walking with. And I talked to these different people, and I talked to different people, different Muslims at the mosque, and had good conversations around food, good conversations about what they believe, and had good discussions and stuff like that about interfaith, and they asked me some questions as well. It was just a really good time. I greatly enjoyed it, and you will see that full video in a week. And if you aren't subscribed and you have the bell notifications, all that stuff, you definitely should, because that'll be a great video. It was a great time. And so yeah, I think that would summarize fairly well my overall experience, some of the interesting things I got to do and see. And I will be recapping a little bit more in depth and actually have a dialogue with Ahmed, not the guy I visited the mosque with, a different Ahmed. Actually, a month ago, I did an interview with Ahmed that I'm speaking of from the Finding Truth channel, I believe. So I will be doing an interview with him within a week, I believe. It'll be about a week's time. He invited me on his channel. We'll have a discussion about my first time, fasting over Ramadan like this. And I will be sharing with him and his viewers, and I'll probably put it on this channel as well, about my experience. And we'll have a discussion, just about Ramadan, about fasting. So again, a lot of things to look forward to, a lot of content on my end, a lot of good things coming out here. But yeah, so I think that overall covers the experience. It covers a brief intro to the mosque visit. Also a brief shout out to the interview I plan on doing in the future here. And I got other things lined up too. I got other interviews, not about Ramadan, but other stuff. Like I have content planned out here that I think you guys are all going to enjoy. I'm super excited. That summarizes my experience. Super grateful for you all the people who were supporting me. I had Christians in the comments who were like, "This is interesting stuff," and some of my fellow Christians just engaging with the content, learning about different faiths. I have obviously Muslims in the comment who were giving me advice, giving me little tips, little fun facts, and I found that super enjoyable. And then people from other backgrounds as well, my Hindu audience and different things, just engaging with this content. I am glad that we are building this community here. I am just super grateful, and I'm super grateful for the experience and super grateful for all of you. I am overjoyed. Thank you everyone for joining me on this live stream. Thank you for joining this channel, and I'm just excited. I'm excited about everything here, and we got about another 49, 50 minutes left until Ramadan is over, and then I'll go eat food. It'll be great. And yeah, so Ramadan, we got going into the last hour. Let's see what the live chat is saying. I've been talking long enough. Let's see if we got any questions or anything going on here. And I also might be reacting to a video here by the end. So stay tuned. I'll probably be reacting to a video about Eid Iftar, the day after the end of Ramadan. I forget what that day's called, but I'll probably get comments about what it's called. Woohoo! Hello, brother. Hello. Welcome. Hello. Good day, LT. Hello, Salima. Welcome. Happy Eid Mubarak to the brothers and sisters. Hello, Abadir and Muhammad. Forgive me if I butchered that name because I probably did. Oh, here's the question. Did your sleep pattern get better? It got better. I mean, to be fair, I am just bad in sleeping in general. Like, I do not have a good sleeping habit. It's partially my fault. I mean, my friends know I'm a bit of a workaholic. I kind of push myself to my limits sometimes. So sleeping is just a problem for me in general. I will stay up late and get up early and destroy myself for no apparent good reason. But yeah, it did get better with time. I did definitely get used to it more. But I'm just naturally the type of person that does not sleep well and burn myself out sometimes. So sometimes I can drive myself a little bit crazy. Brother, you're a good man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Being reminded of the poor is a hot take. Yeah, I never thought about that one before. I think that was interesting. I think that was honestly the thing I found most, the fun fact in the comments that I saw that I found the most enlightening. That's why I brought it up. It was because whenever I fasted in the past, I never thought about it in the sense of like, this is what poor people experience, and I can now empathize better. And, there's this idea of like, I should give more and stuff. Like, that never really crossed my mind. So I do think that was a good insight for me. Not only does it remind you of the spiritual need for God, it also reminds you to be empathetic. I think that's a great part about fasting as well, that I never even considered. Servant of Allah, hello, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. When people are sick, a lot of doctors advise people to eat to get better, but actually to fast is the most effective thing to do if you are sick. I'm sure it depends also. Depends on what sickness we're talking about. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to argue with anyone about that. I'm just going to accept the fact that whatever medical advice a doctor gives you is probably better than mine. But I'm assuming it would depend on what the disease is. Although drinking water is an important part of getting healthy. Because if you're like throwing up and stuff, you're going to dehydrate if you don't drink water. You need to drink water. Even though you can't keep it down, you need to drink water or else you will be dehydrated. So drinking water, by what I understand, is an important part of getting better. I don't know if eating is necessarily always an important part about getting better or not. But again, I'm sure that depends on the disease. I'm Dr. Iftikhar from Pakistan. So happy for you. Thank you. Welcome. I am one of your fans. Awesome. I am glad. This is definitely so getting into YouTube has been definitely a weird experience. Because because definitely it's just because I never I'm interacting with people that I never see, but yet you feel like to a certain extent you know them because of your conversations you have on live streams and stuff, and you see the comments. This is definitely just a whole experience for me. But I am grateful for you being on here. I am grateful that you like this channel and what I do here. Super grateful. I love doing comparative religion. I love studying philosophy. I love studying different belief systems. It's just something I find really fascinating. Engaging with that type of stuff, bringing on scholars, bringing on people a lot smarter than me to talk about topics and to delve into these things. But I'm glad you're here, and I am still learning the ropes. And there's a lot more to come. A lot more to come. And I have so much stuff I want to share, but I need to keep it on the back burner. I can't say too much because it's all sort of in the works. But trust me, there's tons in the works right now, and I'm super excited. Not only am I excited because it's the last hour of Ramadan, which we got less than 50 minutes now till the end of Ramadan, but I'm also just super excited because I have been working on a lot of stuff behind the background that I've not been able to share. I still can't quite share, but trust me, I'm hyped. I'm excited. There's a lot of things I'm working on that I'm super excited about, and I really hope that you guys will enjoy what I'm planning out here. Early doctors always advise also when they become sick to fast. Can you see the emojis in the chat? I mean, I can see emojis right now, so I'm assuming. I mean, I'm seeing emojis. I mean, that's it, yes, I can see emojis. And maybe not all of them. I don't know, but I can see most of them at least. I think. Fasting is healthy and mentally, spiritually. Yeah, fasting is definitely a good thing. I've heard intermittent fasting is really good for you. And that's sort of like the intermittent fast. My one roommate did intermittent fasting actually, to get in shape basically. And I don't have roommates right now, but this is back when I lived somewhere else. I had roommates. And he did intermittent fasting, and he would basically not eat for like 8 hours or something, and then he would eat, and then I forget how long he would go without eating anything, and he would eat a small meal. Like he wouldn't eat a big meal. He'd like go 8 hours without eating, eat like a very small portion or small meal, like so many calories, and he would go another 8 hours without eating, then eat another small meal. And he only have like 2 medium small meals a day. And apparently it worked for him. I mean, I've heard it's good for you. Again, I'm not a doctor, so don't take any health advice from me. I just say things that I've been told. Sometimes, this is not a topic I've delved too deep into the weeds with. There are some topics I really delve into, I really know well, and there's other topics not as much. When it comes to medicine, take what I say with a grain of salt. But by what I understand, fasting is healthy if you do it properly. If your intention is sincere to draw closer to God, then God will accept your fast. I agree. If you're sincere in your fasting, if you're sincere in your prayers, if you're sincere in your pursuit of God, I believe anyone who pursues truth sincerely will find the truth. I do believe that is a core principle. There, to a certain extent, obviously, a belief like that is built on some sort of premise of faith, but that's how it works. What food do you have planned after this? Oh my word. So I do have a bunch of food in the fridge. Actually, funny enough, food expired pretty quickly over Ramadan, because I didn't eat as much. So I would buy, like the beginning of Ramadan, I bought a bunch of food. I don't know why I did this. And then by the end, like after a couple weeks, half the food was like rotten or moldy because I just wasn't eating as much. I was only eating like one meal a day. So I ran out of food pretty quickly. But I did go grocery shopping today because, well, I'm ready to eat. I won't lie. I am ready to eat. I am looking forward to it. But what am I going to eat today? That's a good question. I bought a bunch of fruit and stuff, so I might eat a bunch of fruit here afterwards. I did get dates again, so I'll probably have dates as well. I have some meat that I can heat. I have some different meats that I could make right now that are downstairs, but I'm not sure. I honestly, funny enough, I bought a bunch of food, but I didn't actually think about what I was going to make now that I think about it. I might make a sandwich. Ooh, good sandwich. I don't know. We'll see. I'll surprise myself. It's going to be a mystery meal. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a mystery meal. So I don't know what I have planned exactly. I did buy myself a dessert though. I bought myself ice cream and like this cake thing because I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something unhealthy today. I'm going to eat some sort of just sugary dessert food. So that is one thing I do have planned to eat at least a little bit of. Can you go to a mosque and do your experience from any of the mosques around you? They would be an interesting experience, don't you think? I did go to a mosque. I'll be releasing that video next week, Saturday. And I'll probably be releasing other consequent videos with it as well about that experience. But I will be releasing a video about me visiting a mosque. That is right around the corner. He looks relieved. I am relieved. Video games planet. I am relieved. Again, not that I enjoyed my experience, had a good time, but I will not lie. I have been looking forward to this day of enjoying some good food. This weekend, I plan on hanging out with a bunch of friends, and I'll be able to be like, hey guys, I can actually eat food now over lunch. It'll be great. It'll be amazing. The past few weekends, I've been having to tell my friends, like, I can't eat lunch. Like one day my friends went out to eat for lunch, and and they were like, "Do you want to come?" I mean, they're like, "Oh, you can't come with us, I guess, or you won't be able to eat food if you do." So I ended up going somewhere else for like half an hour to an hour, and then we ended up meeting up at the place we were going to afterwards, because we were going golfing or doing something that day, something extracurricular that day. So I ended up going to another place, basically just chilling out, hanging out, and then met them at the place we were meeting at after lunch. So that has been my experience. But yes, I am relieved. I am looking forward to this weekend because I'm planning on hanging out with friends and family, and I'll be able to enjoy some good old food, all that good stuff. Don't forget the love you developed, the love I developed. What love did I develop, Sacramento? What are you referring to? Though? Don't forget the love you developed. I'm trying to think what you mean. I'm sure you'll tell me, but that's an interesting one. I won't forget if I can even know what you're talking about. What is the greatest lesson you got from Ramadan? Just one thing. I think I've said it before, but I would definitely say I think the greatest lesson, or at least the most interesting thing I learned, was to appreciate the blessings God has given me. So spending 30 days eating one meal a day. Again, I've said this about the whole, empathizing with the poor. It also enabled me now to be more grateful, I think, for food in general. Be grateful for what God's given me. I often, I struggle sometimes with being content and grateful for what I have. Sometimes I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always like, I want to grow things. I want to build things. So sometimes it's hard for me to be content with the moment. But I think this definitely has taught me to be thankful for what God's given me, the blessings He has given me, the food He's provided, the house He's provided me with, and just gratefulness. Honestly, I think gratefulness is the biggest thing I learned today, because fasting in the past, I've known about humility, I've known about prayer, I've known about reading His Word and things like that, but I think this one really has taught me to be grateful. So I think that would be one of the biggest things. Sacramento, you from Sackatown? What is your name? I just go by LT on this channel for a variety of reasons. One is just my pen name. So like I write novels and books, and again, I'm working on something right now actually in the works. But I write novels and books. I go by pen name LT World. So it's partially privacy stuff, partially just because that's what I go by for everything else. It's easier to for people to remember it then. And I enjoy it. I enjoy going by LT. It's just easier that way. I live. Is there much of that? Give us a sneak peek at what's in the works. I can't. I don't know how much sneak peek I want to give. I don't know. I mean, I already told you a couple things. I'm dropping that interview, dropping the mosque video, all that good stuff. So I got those things coming up that you guys will see. But I'll be on a podcast next week. Not the Ahmed thing's a whole different thing. I'll be on another podcast next week that I'll share more details next week about that. And then I am also working on merch. That is the thing I'm working on. I can't say much more than that because I'm still in the process of developing it, but I am working on merch, and I am closer than I ever have been before on having merch available for anyone who would be interested in buying any sort of merch to support this channel. I will be releasing merch here. Hopefully, I'm hoping within a month, but it is in development. I am expecting to get samples in. to next week, hopefully, maybe 2 weeks from now. It depends on shipping. So that is one thing in the works. Another thing I really have to keep on the down low because I can't share too much information yet because I'm not sure how it's going to play out. But if it plays out right, I will share with you when I can. He's on the East Coast. I'm on the I operate by Eastern time. I mean, I'm on the East Coast as well. So that's why for me this is the last hour. Speaking of which, it is 7:11 p.m. We got less than 40 minutes. Less than 40 minutes. It's like 39 minutes till sunset. So, man, we're getting there. We're getting there. Hey LT, congratulations. Thank you, Alif. I greatly appreciate you and the support you give. What's your current setup for the video editing? Wondering how long it takes you to edit 30 minutes video and then the processing, etc. My setup for video editing. So I borrow a lot of equipment from my job because I work as a marketer and advertiser outside of YouTube. That's actually how I pay most of my bills. I know it looks like I'm a big stuff on YouTube. Like I know I'm pretty big, but I'm not quite making not quite making full-time wage off this thing. No, seriously, I work as a marketer and advertiser outside of here. I borrow a lot of equipment for my job. They let me use their cameras a lot of time. They let me use my computer there for video editing. So I use Adobe Premiere for video editing. And how long does it take me to edit 30 minutes of video? It depends. Normally if the video is really long, so like an hour-long video, interviews are actually pretty easy because I just chop them up and then I release them. But an hour-long video will definitely take me a few days. It normally takes me anywhere between 3 to 5 days to do an hour worth of video. I don't know how many hours. Maybe like 10 to 15 hours. Half an hour video, again, depends how much editing I put into it. It'll take me 2 to 4 days depending. And I might spend anywhere between 5 to 15 hours on that video. Live streams, I just do them. I just come on here, I speak to you guys, I react to videos, and then I leave out, and then I publish them. I don't do much editing with live streams because I just don't have the time to. But the videos I actually do edit and create anywhere between 2 to 4 days, normally to produce a decent long video. The short videos that I release occasionally, the ones that are less than 10 minutes, generally only take me 1 or 2 days and like anywhere between 3 to 7 hours maybe. So those are pretty quick and easy. And then you have thumbnails and stuff like that. But my setup is I use CorelDRAW for thumbnails and I use Adobe Premiere for video editing, and that's about the time and length it takes me. Celebrate with some matzah. Do not bring up matzah, all right? Look, matzah is in the past. If anyone doesn't know, I have this video where I made a Jewish food. Like, I forget how long ago it was. Maybe I'll put it in the link here for anyone who wants to know. But I made a video about me making Jewish food. The matzah was the death of me. It's like a very hard bread. Awful. Let's go merch. Yes, I will be hopefully releasing merch within a month. For anyone who's interested, I'll test it out for you. And if I don't like it, I won't release it. If I like it, you know it's good because I will be releasing it. So, yes. From Morocco. So, may Allah guide you to the straight path and open your heart to the truth. Ali from Morocco. Morocco. Again, it just amazes me where all you people are from. Marketing and advertising coming from a business major. What do you have against marketing and advertising? What is that like gross or is like interesting? I don't know, but I'm taking it as the gross one. I enjoy what I do. I do a lot of graphic design work. So I do a lot of graphic design work, a little bit of videography, and then social media content. So basically what I do for YouTube, I do for my real life job just for a company. So I am never not making content. I'm pretty much always making content except for weekends when I try to spend time with family and friends and get away from this crazy, hectic online world. But yes, I do marketing and advertising. Live streams are much easier. They are very easy. Matzo ball soup is not hard. I will have to consider that sometime. I'll have to make matzo ball soup sometime. Oh, man. Okay, so I think we cranked through a lot of that sleazy businessman. Hey, watch your tone. We got about half an hour here. So, I found a video. Now, I need to change my change here real quick. Woo! I got smaller all of a sudden, guys. You can't see me nearly as well. I know, it's sad. Sad world we live in, but it's how it has to be. But I saw a little video on Eid al-Fitr. I'm definitely saying that wrong. You can buy matzo ball soup. You don't even have to make it yourself. Do you know how interested I am in matzo ball soup right now in Sacramento? Matzo ball soup is not appealing to me. Maybe one day I'll try it and I will be amazed and I will have to thank you up and down. I'll just have to thank you all the time for matzo ball soup. But right now it does not sound that appealing to me. And also I have PTSD from the Jewish video. But I came across this video because I was like, you know what? I'm going to blasphemy. I'm going to end this video, I think, just learning more about Eid al-Fitr. I'm definitely saying that wrong. Anyways. To, just close out this challenge. And then I will leave you guys with the good old hurrah. And we'll go from there. You guys keep pounding those comments. Please react. Bible proves Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca, brother of LT, if you still got the time. More of the gross ooh. I worked for a marketing department. It was soul drenchingly boring. I'm sorry for your loss, man. I'm sorry for your loss. You're not the right type of marketer. Then you did not get down. You did not do it well. Not your job well. I'm just saying you picked the wrong aspect of marketing. Something was wrong with the company you worked for. It should be better than that. All right, let's learn. Let me just learn about it. This holiday.
As the holy month of Ramadan comes to an end, Muslims all around the world prepare themselves for Eid al-Fitr, the festival of breaking the fast. It is a time of joy and celebration where families and friends come together to share their blessings and express their gratitude for the blessings of Allah. Here are 8 things Muslims should do on the day of Eid al-Fitr. 1. Attend
Eid al-Fitr. Let me see if I'm saying that right. I need to say this right.
of Allah. Here are 8 things Muslims should do on the day of Eid al-Fitr.
Eid al-Fitr. That's the best I'm going to do right now.
1. Attend Eid prayers. One of the most important things that Muslims should do on Eid al-Fitr is to attend the Eid prayers. These prayers are held in the morning, usually in an open space or a mosque, and are led by an imam. The prayers consist...
For reference, since I visited a mosque, the mosque I visited is not this big. It was one of the biggest mosques in New Jersey, but it was not this big. This is a big mosque. Not quite this big, but interesting comparison.
Of 2 rak'ats, and are followed by a sermon in which the main delivers a message of hope, love, and gratitude. It is important to attend these prayers as they are a way of showing our gratitude to Allah for the blessings of Ramadan and for guiding us through this holy month. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would gather with his companions and offer prayers in the congregation. He would offer 2 rak'ahs of Eid prayer, which is a special prayer offered only on the occasion of Eid. After the prayers, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would deliver a sermon to his followers. In his sermon, he would remind them of the importance of fasting during the month of Ramadan and the significance of Eid al-Fitr. He would also encourage...
What does Eid al-Fitr mean? Now I'm curious, because I'm sure this has a meaning and I am unaware of it. Eid al-Fitr translation? Question mark. I'm curious now what this actually means. Festival of the breaking of the fast. Is that literally... the direct translation is literally the festival of the breaking of the fast? Man, that is spot on the nose. I was expecting it to be like, a little bit more poetic, but that is right on the nose. All right. No more questions.
Urge them to give charity to the poor and needy, which is considered a virtuous act in Islam. 2. Give charity. Charity is an integral part of Islam, and it is particularly important during Eid al-Fitr. Muslims are encouraged to give generously to those in need, whether it is in the form of money or food. This is a way of sharing our blessings with others and spreading joy and happiness during this special occasion.
I remember from my interview with Ahmed that he mentioned how there will be some countries where they'll even set up like tables of food outside outside in the streets or outside mosques and things and give food and money out to those in need and to the poor and things like that. And yeah, I think it'd be interesting to visit one of those countries over that time period to see it actually firsthand. Because I've been at parts of where they give out food to the homeless. I've been to like food banks and things like that before and participated and volunteered. So I remember what that was like. Like we did that in the heart of a city one time, and it was just interesting because people pulled up with their supposedly people without money, people struggling, pulled up with their carts and looking for food. It was an eye-opening experience, but I think it would definitely be interesting to be another country and just witness that for myself. I think that'd be interesting to see that firsthand.
Giving charity is also considered a way of purifying our souls and seeking forgiveness from Allah. 3. Visit family and friends.
Hey,
Eid al-Fitr
I know for sure I'm going to be doing that one.
is a time of celebration and joy, and one of the best ways to celebrate is by visiting family and friends. It is a time to strengthen bonds and show love and appreciation for those around
Now,
us.
if I'm not mistaken, like a big part of Ramadan, I know not really mistaken because when I was at the mosque and talking to Ahmed and the imam and stuff, they were talking about how getting together with family and friends over Ramadan for the iftar meals and things is a big part of just the communal aspect of Ramadan. So like that was the one thing also I think that intrigued me about this whole experience was learning more about it, but learning more about the community aspect of Ramadan, learning more about the community aspect of the fast and the breaking of the fast together and things like that. I could definitely tell this was a communal thing. This was a community effort. And this was something that was supposed to bring people together and bring joy and things like that. So I could definitely see the significance of it. I could definitely see the importance of it to those at the mosque, those Muslims I interacted with. And now here is interesting to me because Eid al-Fitr, anyway, it's more community, more time with family and friends, more gratefulness. And I can definitely see that's an integral part of the time of the month.
Visiting family members who live far away is also a great
Greetings
way
from Libya. Greetings. I'm impressed. Wherever Libya, I think that's the first time I've ever seen that one.
to reconnect and catch up on each other's lives. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would then celebrate Eid al-Fitr by spending time with his family and friends, and would also distribute gifts and sweets among the children and the less fortunate. 4.
I like how, so right there. So here's the interesting thing about dates. So when I first had dates, because he says here among the children less fortunate, he gave them sweets and things. I didn't realize how sweet dates were. And I think that's what caught me off guard. When I've been to the date, I was almost expecting it to be kind of like a, what am I thinking of? Something that's like a little bitter. Like, for instance, strawberries. Strawberries are sweet, but there's also like a tartness to them, like a little bitterness, a little tartness to them. But dates, when I bit into them, it was sweet, and it wasn't really bitter or tarty at all. It was mostly just, good. it was just good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, I can tell now why when associated with sweets, I see dates, and I'm like, yes, that does make sense now.
And the less fortunate. 4. Prepare special Eid meals. During Eid al-Fitr, it is customary for Muslims to prepare special meals to share with family and friends. This is a time to indulge in delicious food and enjoy each other's company. Preparing special meals is also a way of showing love and hospitality to guests and sharing our blessings with others. 5.
I plan on actually tomorrow. I plan on going out to eat with some friends and things. Anyway, again, I'm looking forward to tomorrow because I do plan on going out to eat and just eating good food and spending time with family, friends, and being grateful. Wear new clothes. Anyway, but oh man, just looking at this food already, man, I am excited. What time is it? 7:25. All right, 25 less than 25 minutes because it's 7:49 when sunset is. 24 minutes. 24 minutes. We're getting close. But yes, I am looking forward to the good food. Dates plus milk. Dates plus milk, man. That is the bomb. That's a great breakfast, and I'll probably have that more in my future for breakfast. Were you expecting a fig? I think, yeah, kind of. Actually, that's exactly kind of what I was expecting. When I bit into the date, I was like almost expecting like a fig flavor, but it was not. It was much better than that. Dates plus milk is a pretty common meal over here. I look, big fan of the dates and milk thing. Big fan of the dates and milk thing. Wearing new clothes, visiting family and friends. Yes, let's see what this new
is
clothes thing is all
also
about.
a way of showing love and hospitality to guests.
Oh, and also
and
another
sharing
thing I want to mention is when it comes to food, where I grew up as well, within my background, my culture, food is a big aspect of family get-togethers, of celebrations and things. Like, I grew up with some great food. Like, people where I am from, and the people that I have descended from and things, there's a bit of a reputation we have with having really good food, and people will literally visit our state and visit our area just to experience the food that comes from Mennonite, Amish, Anabaptist. Food is a big part of my culture as well, as far as like celebration and all that stuff.
our
But it's a big part of
blessings
a lot
with
of cultures.
others. 5. Wear new clothes. Wearing new clothes on Eid al-Fitr is a tradition that is followed by Muslims all around the world. It is a way of showing respect for the occasion and celebrating the end of Ramadan. It is also a way of expressing joy and happiness and feeling good about ourselves. 6.
Interesting.
Spending time in
I never thought about buying new clothes and like wearing new clothing as a form of celebration slash like, I guess joy and stuff. Like I never really thought about it that way, but I guess it makes sense. It looked like I think it was also interesting that I don't know if this was poetic or meant to be, but like he's wearing all white, and it almost made me think that I'm assuming I would almost symbolize purity, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just overthinking it at this point.
action and gratitude. Eid al-Fitr is a time to reflect and express.
I've actually been doing that today a little bit. I was walking, and today's been a beautiful day, and I've been walking around outside just being grateful and thankful for the blessings God's given me, and being grateful for what He has done and all that stuff. Like I've been trying to do more of this these past couple of days.
Gratitude for the blessings of Allah. It is important to take some time out of the festivities to reflect on our spiritual journey and the lessons we have learned during Ramadan. We should also
What
express
is the significance of those beads? I keep in these videos, not just this one, but other ones. I see like these beads, and they'll be holding these beads and stuff. The only beads I'm aware of within religion that at least I'm familiar with are two. Well, mostly one. With Catholicism, I know they use beads as well. But I'm just trying to like, what's the point of these beads? Why is it when I see like with prayer hands, there's beads in their hands and beads and stuff? Like, what's the purpose of those beads? What do they mean? I'm really curious. But yeah, expressing gratitude and blessings, that's a big part of it. Cereal is very common here to your family. Greetings to you and your family, brother. Amish food making video. I should do that.
should also express gratitude for the blessings that Allah has bestowed upon us and make a conscious effort to appreciate the little things in life. It is important to note that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did not celebrate Eid al-Fitr in a lavish or extravagant manner. Instead, he emphasized the importance of simplicity and humility, reminding his followers that true happiness comes from being grateful for what he have and sharing it with others. He would also visit the sick and the elderly, showing them love and compassion on this special day. 7. Spread love and kindness. Eid al-Fitr is a time.
I'm sorry. The reason why that made me laugh is because that made me think of like these really small pithy platitudes you'll see on social media. Show love and kindness. Here's your reminder to be a good person. It just made me think of that. But I'm sure he has a good point to make.
Time to spread love and kindness to those around us. It is a time to forgive and forget and to let go of any grudges or negative feelings we may have towards others. We should make an effort to be kind to everyone we meet and to spread joy and happiness wherever we go. 8. Read Quran. Reading Quran is an important aspect of Islam, and it is particularly important during Eid al-Fitr. We should always take some time out of the festivities to read the Quran and reflect on its teachings. It is a way of connecting with Allah and seeking guidance and inspiration. Eid al-Fitr is a special occasion for Muslims around the world. It is a time to celebrate the end of Ramadan and express gratitude for the
I'm curious now, since I have viewers from all around the world, uh, when does Ramadan end for you? Did it end yesterday? Does it end tomorrow? Does it end tonight? Like, when did it end? A few hours from now? A few hours earlier? I'm just curious. When did Ramadan end for you people who are in different countries around the world, different areas around the world? Prayer beads are for saying small prayers and Quranic words. Okay. Um, is that found within the Hadith tradition? Is that found within the Quran? I don't know. Just curious, but interesting. Okay. Prayer beads are for saying small prayers and Quranic words.
blessings of Allah. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, played an important role in its celebration during his lifetime. He would offer prayers, deliver sermons, distribute gifts, and spend time with his family and friends. His actions serve as an example for Muslims around the world to follow, emphasizing the importance of gratitude, compassion, and generosity on this special day. Eid Mubarak to all our followers, and may Allah grant all of your wishes this Eid.
So interesting. What's interesting to me is the balance. There seems to be this 7:31, getting close. There seems to be this balance with Eid al-Fitr between gratefulness, humility, and gratefulness, humility, all that good stuff. Love, kindness, all that stuff. But then there's also this idea of like celebration, joy, eating food, new clothing, and there seems to be this balance between allowing yourself to partake in certain pleasures, but never forgetting the importance of where they come from and the importance of sharing and all these different things. It is this interesting balance. Because sometimes people have this tendency to go really into one end or the other. Sometimes people can be really extreme, either extremely self-obsessed, or sometimes unhealthily obsessed with others. And what I mean by that is that someone who has a healthy love and care for other people will treat them well and will do what they need to do for them, and will be self-sacrificial. They will even give up their life for the person. But there is also this idea of you can make other people or other people's opinions a god in your eyes. You can make idolatry out of what people think of you. This is what fame does to people sometimes, and celebrity and stuff. But people can be so obsessed with what other people think and keeping other people happy that they will slave away but never have joy. Because honestly, that type of, obsession with other people, that type of, craving for other people to be happy is actually almost a self-obsession in itself. It's this fear of man, this pride in I need to do everything right and keep people happy. It's its own form of problems. There's this healthy balance between first recognizing God being sovereign and who he is, recognizing his blessings, taking the time then to recognize that you've been blessed by God, so therefore I should bless others. Recognizing that you are important, but also others around you are also just as important. Love God and love others. Two most important things people can do. But yeah, I definitely find that balance to be interesting. And I definitely can say that this has been an interesting experience. This still cracks me up, Chocobug. An Amish food making video. I do plan on doing a video about me visiting the Amish at some point. I would love to do a video about that. I just have to plan it. I'll have to plan with some of my friends to get that to work and get together and go out there and partake in the Amish community, because it's just a different lifestyle. And for anyone who may be from another country who don't know what the Amish are or whatever, basically the Amish are this denomination of Christians who don't drive cars, they don't have electricity, they ride horse and buggies, and they basically deprive themselves of most modern technology as a means of humility and as a means of not being overly greedy and self-obsessed and things like that. It's a denomination of Christianity that's really conservative in how they approach life and their lifestyle. Prayer beads are for small prayers and Quranic words. I think it's in the Hadith tradition. Okay. I mean, I'm still parceling through the Hadith tradition, so I might stumble across it there. Still making some videos about that. I haven't made one in a while, though. I might make another video about the Hadith. I've been making videos about a lot of other things recently, and I'm testing out a new format where I'm trying to make more long. I'm trying to make more long videos rather than some of those short 2 to 5 minute videos. I'm trying to make few more longer videos, but it takes a little bit more time to edit. But we'll see how that works out. Wait, what are these Amish Mennonite foods? I never heard of people traveling to Amish country for food. I thought it was for the quilts. Newsflash, yeah. Amish food, Mennonite food is a pretty big deal. At least, so growing up, I've always I grew up Mennonite, so people would tell me like, "Oh man, you must have such good food." I was like, "Yeah, I grew up with some really good food." But yes, Amish food, Mennonite food is famous around these parts. Very well known. Like, there's a lot of stores I'll say like Amish made, Mennonite made for not just food, but for a lot of things. But it just has a reputation. People love it. There's actually some areas in where I live that are basically tourist areas where people will go to indulge in either breads, desserts, main courses. It's popular. Let me tell you, it is popular. Catering here, Amish catering, super popular here in PA. So yeah, that is a big part of it. It is a very popular thing. Amish and Mennonite food. Amish more than Mennonite, but Mennonite gets thrown in there as well. Yes, and also quilts is a big part of it too. The Anabaptist community is famous for quilts. Famous for quilting. What else are the Anabaptists? Again, Amish are famous for their lifestyle. They don't partake in modern technology, and so therefore people are always just fascinated by these people who seem to live in the 1800s, 1700s, in modern day life, and they're just intrigued by this lifestyle. So that's another part of it. But don't believe any of the TV shows you see about Amish or Mennonite. All those TV shows are a bunch of baloney, and most of them are just crazy as all get out. In Libya, it's Eid. It's Eid already, brother. Friday, 21st April. So Ramadan's already over for you, is what you're saying in Libya. Nice. I'm glad for you. It's kind of like the balance of Christmas. What do you mean by that? I'm curious. There is 2 Eids. One is Al-Iftar for ending Ramadan, and Al-Adi, that's for Abraham and his sacrifice. I'm assuming you're referring to when he takes his son up the mountain and prepares the sacrifice, unless you're talking about a different sacrifice. But it's all about forgive, brother, and the celebration is like because of that for forgiveness. Forgiveness is definitely an important part of not just fasting and prayer in general, life in general, because all of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and we all need God's grace, and only through Him can we receive mercy. Grape nuts and wait, what are you talking about? Grape nuts? Wait, I must have missed something, Sacramento. I must have missed something. Amish furniture has the highest markup. Oh my word, you're not wrong. You can just say you can take an average piece of wooden furniture and just slap on there Amish made, and it's already $5,000 more expensive. Oh my word. I'm not saying that Amish don't make good furniture. All I'm saying is it does seem a bit ridiculous how expensive it gets at times. A bit crazy. So sunset today is 7:49. What time? 7:39. We got 10 minutes left, my friends. 10 minutes left. Oh my word. So this is going pretty crazy. This is crazy. So we got 10 minutes left. Sunset is at sundown, the daylight appearance of the sun. Oh, I'm glad. Now I know what sunset is. If it wasn't for sunset, oh man. So 7:49, April 20th, 10 minutes left. We're almost there. You don't know about the Pennsylvania Dutch dessert with grape nuts? I'm just gonna wind this out for the last 10 minutes here. I'll just do a little bit of chatting. That was not what I wanted to do. Sacramento, I think I know what you're talking about as far as grape nuts go. I'm aware of what you mean by grape nuts, I think. But in regard to the dessert you're referring to, I might be vaguely familiar with it. So the desserts I grew up with was not grape nut dessert. That was not the dessert I am accustomed to. But I had a lot of puddings. Growing up, pudding was a big part of my desserts. Tons of pudding, caramel pudding, butterscotch pudding, dirt pudding, tons of pudding. Like pudding was a big part of dessert for me growing up. You also had some fancy cakes here and there. Whoopie pies. Oh my word. I love whoopie pies. And for those who don't know what a whoopie pie is, I will now show you the deliciousness of a whoopie pie. You will now know what I mean when I say whoopie pie. For this, it doesn't look like much, but this homemade whoopie pies, delicious, delicious. One of my favorite handheld desserts. Love it, love it, love it. It's worth it. Anyway, whoopie pies. Oh wait, you guys can't even see it. I just showed you whoopie pies, and now I just remembered. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna show you guys whoopie pies. I don't know why I want to show you guys whoopie pies so bad, but I am dedicated to the cause now. All right. So now we're gonna go back. All right, whoopie pies. There you go. Those are whoopie pies. One of my favorite handheld desserts. Love them. Great dessert. You should have one. If you never had one, they are amazing. And I'm soon gonna be able to eat food, man. This is not good for me. Okay, close out. This is not healthy anymore. Not healthy. All right, let's widen this out again. All right. That's definitely a better way to do this, probably. But it is what it is. So whoopie pies, love it. Could you react to Mosque pilgrimage to Mecca? Not today. But maybe in another video, I will have to mark that down and see if I can react to it in the future. Amish people are pretty interesting, as you just talked about. Yes, Amish people are very interesting. They're their own subculture. Like, what's interesting is that you live in a modern age, so everyone's like driving cars on the internet, all that stuff. And then within where I live, there are people who are living without that stuff. They're living without cars, they're living without that, and they live in their own community. And for instance, every Sunday, they will basically gather together at one person's home, and they will just be there all day. It's like its own community within a community. It's like a subculture. It's very interesting. Yes, it is very interesting. Cult classic whoopie pies. Yeah, man. Cult classic whoopie pies. Oh, man. I should have bought whoopie pies. That's what I should have done. I should have bought whoopie pies to celebrate the breaking of fast. That would have been great. I would have. Oh, my word. After this video, after this live stream, we got 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left. 6 minutes. This has been a great experience, guys. This has been a great experience. You don't understand, but man, this is gonna be good. Amish are also known to work with the vast majority of people, and in the lesser known for food. Wait, Amish with Chugabug. What is your spelling? Amish are also known to outwork the vast majority of people, and in the lesser known foot races, Amish put a lot of them like small fundraiser 5K Amish kit stuff. Anabaptists in general, Mennonites, Amish, Brethren, all that stuff, are known for their hard work ethic. Maybe that's why I'm a bit of a workaholic myself. But yes, Amish, Mennonite, Anabaptists in general are well known for their work ethic. Like, if you ever seen a video, there are videos of Amish like raising barns and building barns and stuff within like short periods of time. It is insane what they accomplish. But yes, they are known for their hard work ethic. Pudding, whoopie pies. Anyone who's still fasting, I'm sorry, but I think a lot of you might be already done with your fast, so I don't feel too bad. But yes, delicious food. I am so ready. They buy a lot of land near each other since it's so difficult to travel to each other. Oftentimes you travel through basically a mini community of like 70 families. Yeah, that's basically true. And every Sunday, man, when I'm driving to church, man, and a bunch of Amish buggies on the road, you have to drive around them. It's great times. It's good times. But that is true. They do live near each other for that reason, because they just travel on horse and buggies. They can ride in cars, but they won't drive cars. So that's a part of it. But yeah, they do generally live very near each other, and they're just their own community, man. They're just their own community. It's wild. Hello from Pakistan. Hello, Usman Farouk. Is that how you say it? Hello, welcome. I have 4 more minutes left in Ramadan, and then I will do a quick cheer for you guys, and then I am going to go head out and eat food. 4 minutes. 4 more minutes. Again, guys, I just want to say before I head out, before Ramadan ends here, thank you again for supporting this channel. I love doing comparative religion. I love looking at different belief systems. I love doing some comparing and contrasting, creating videos, content creation, live streams, all that stuff. Thoroughly enjoy what I do here. Extremely grateful for all of you. Extremely excited about what I got to come. And I appreciate every one of you who is supporting this channel. Every one of you has helped out in whatever way possible, just watching videos, subscribing. Some of you have left me super chats in the past. I'm super grateful for that as well. And I'll be dropping merch and all that stuff. So I'm just excited, guys. I'm excited for what this has become, excited for what this will be. And I am extremely excited to eat food. 3 more minutes. And yeah. So I am just thankful for all of you, and I'm practicing my gratefulness right now. Is it working? Am I being grateful? I'm trying my best. Practicing my gratefulness right now, but I am extremely grateful for all of you, and all that stuff. Compare truth versus false. What do you mean by that, Sacramento? Compare truth versus false. Are you saying you want me to delve more into the reasons why people believe what they believe and compare them, like arguments and stuff? Is that what you're saying? Compare truth versus false? Because I have been debating how I want to do that a little bit about, have you ever been to Sacramento? I have never been to Sacramento. No, I have not. But I have been thinking about that because I do want to make videos more about the comparison of how people come to the conclusions that they come to. Go buy a whoopie pie. Thank you, Chugabug. Sorry, Sacramento. I keep trying to answer your question. Thank you, Chugabug, for the super chat. You're the real OG. Super appreciative. Now I will need to go out and buy a whoopie pie. It's just necessary. Maybe not tonight. I don't know if anything's. I'm sure there's a store open tonight. Maybe not tonight, but maybe this weekend I'll buy myself a whoopie pie now. Super thankful and grateful. But yes, I have been thinking about how, if that's what you're referring to, I'm not sure if you're referring to what I'm saying, but if that's what you're referring to, Sacramento, I have been thinking about it because the reason why I haven't done live streams as much about it is because I want to give thoughtful responses and I also want to give thoughtful pushback, meaning I want to take the best arguments from each side and compare them and give thoughtful responses. I don't want to just give off the top of my head responses. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant sometimes on live streams to dive into that because I want to think out. I want to have the best arguments from each side, have them thought out, whether that be, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, whatever. So I want to spend some time on it, but I've been thinking about doing something like that. If that's what you're referring to, I'm not sure. And also I want to add a new tone. I want to add a new tone to debate. I want to add a respect to debate. Showing respect to each other because I get tired of name calling and things like that I see on a lot of channels. I want to show the best respect as possible. 748. All right. We are almost there. You can make whoopie pies at home. I can potentially. The recommendation is in the Quran. Glorify Allah before sunrise and before sunset. Yes, and glorify God. Bring glory to God. It is 7:48. I am. We're almost here. East Coast or West Coast churches. Also a mega church video. Where is that? I might get to that. Still looking at the clock. But I have been thinking about making a video like that about going to a mega church. I have been thinking about doing that, specifically Texas, and visiting. 749. Guys, Ramadan is over. Sunset has come, and my windows are closed. I mean, the blinds are closed. But Ramadan is over. Time to move into the breaking of fast, and then tomorrow celebrate with some friends and family, enjoy some food, being grateful, giving thanks to God, and all that good stuff, and being grateful for all of you folks. Thank you for being with me. This has been great, eye-opening experience, and I will be releasing an interview. I will be having 2 interviews next week, one with Ahmed about my experience again, and another interview that I'll give more details later. The mosque video will be dropping, merch hopefully in a month, a bunch of new things, crazy, super grateful, super thankful. All right, folks, I'm going to be heading out and eating food. This is good. This is good stuff. But yes, and as always, friends, before I head out, go out there and light the world yourselves. Whoopie pie, whoopie pie.